الله أكبر الله أكبر.
The Green Mosque is a beautiful and sustainable new addition to North Cambridge, Massachusetts. Commissioned by area Muslims with the support of a leading patron, Studio Veritas has designed a space that will serve the local community and the environment. The Green Mosque celebrates the color that was purported to be the Prophet's favorite, appearing in his own attire and in his writing. A passage from the Quran describes paradise as a place where people will wear green garments of fine silk. We are designing this mosque as a gesture toward paradise, as well as a symbol of nature and life. Care for the environment is a central concern for the residents of North Cambridge and for Muslims everywhere. The Prophet Muhammad taught evergreen faith and ecological protection through moderation and care for plants and animals. At a time when the natural world is at risk, the Green Mosque is a reminder of the Prophet's teachings and is designed to do its part to contribute to environmental welfare. As a result, it combines tradition and innovation, incorporating a number of environmentally friendly new architectural components, balanced by traditional elements that connect it to our shared past. We were asked to design a mosque for the large population of South Asian and East African Muslims living in North Cambridge. Their current mosque is located in a two-story townhouse, and the community could benefit from a larger mosque with more amenities. We got to know this community through Director of Development of the Harvard Islamic Society, Iman Masmoudi. The Harvard Islamic Society started a youth mentorship program for South Asian and East African Muslims last semester, with the goal of connecting Muslim youth living in North Cambridge with Harvard students. Our mosque may serve as a meeting place for this program, but more broadly, it will expand upon the mission of connecting the North Cambridge Muslim community with both the Muslims and non-Muslims from the surrounding colleges. While a main function of the mosque will be a space for prayer for the North Cambridge community, it will also function as a community center and gathering space. Levant Akrabut argues that the American mosque functions as a center of Islamic affairs, so it needs to be a school, a community center, and a locus of political activity. To address this need, the mosque complex will include an education center, whose rooms can be used for community gatherings, as well as classes for both Muslims and those in the community outside. In addition, to make the mosque an even more appealing space to gather, the complex will also include a cafe and a garden. The architect Gulzar Haidar argues that for non-Muslims, Islamic architecture should be inviting and open, or at least not secretive, closed, or forbidding. In keeping with this ideal, the cafe and garden will be open to the public. The cafe walls will be made of glass to create a sense of openness, although they will also be able to be darkened when the cafe is used for private events. In addition, we will have 3 large arches opening into the garden to ensure that members of the outside community feel welcome to access the public spaces. For the architecture of the mosque, we will aim to fulfill the vision of the architect Gulzar Haidar, who believes that Islamic architecture should give Muslims a sense of belonging in their present and hope in their future, while also underscoring the universality and unity of Islam. Therefore, the exterior architecture will consist of traditional elements combined with eco-friendly features. Because our goal is to create a space that accommodates Muslims from multiple communities of interpretation, we will include easily recognizable pan-Islamic elements, including a dome, minaret, and arches. While these traditional elements will create a sense of the old and the familiar, we will also incorporate environmentally friendly technology that will give the mosque a slightly more modern feel. The minaret will contain a vertical access wind turbine to allow the mosque to run partly on renewable wind energy. In addition, the mosque will have a green roof and green walls, where the exterior is covered with vegetation planted in soil, which will be watered by recycled ablution water. The patterns in the walls will incorporate traditional geometric designs. The water trapped by the vegetation will insulate the building, keeping it cool in summer months and warm in winter. In addition, the vegetation will contribute to a sense of peacefulness and communion with nature, which will make the mosque appealing to both the Muslims it aims to serve, as well as to the outside community. The interior design of the mosque will also incorporate elements exhibiting Muslim values. The main theme of the walls and grounds are floral and vegetal ornamentations inspired by the Quranic description of paradise. The Quran repeatedly mentions the marvels of nature as among Allah's signs calling Muslims to meditate upon them. There are hundreds of references in the Quran to paradise as a beautiful garden containing fruits and vines perfumed by flowers and refreshed by streams and fountains. Classified as biomorphic, floral and vegetal patterns are abstract, stylized, and representational of the principles of Islamic art. These designs are influenced by the beliefs and practicalities of worship, representing the underlying order and unity of nature. They can be divided into three parts: vegetal arabesque, tree of life, and floral patterns. Biomorphic patterns in Islamic art are evident throughout the artwork of various cultures within the Islamic world, from Morocco to Malaysia, and they have been applied to a huge variety of artifacts and objects for ornamental purposes. In our mosque, we will gather different patterns from different regions of the Muslim world as a way to celebrate the richness of this diversity. Firstly, our arabesques will incorporate ornamentation in stylized plant forms. In this way, the Green Mosque will represent the principle of rhythm in nature. Carved in wood, vine patterns with stylized leaves will make up the mihrab. The spiral form of the motif will inspire the worshippers by reminding them of the unbroken chain of nature. The mihrab pattern will be inspired by the mihrab of the Alhambra Mosque in Andalusia. As for the prayer rugs, they will exhibit the art of abstracting the tree of life, referring to the tree in the Garden of Eden. The rugs will be a contemporary manufacturing of the art of Persian rugs from Shiraz, Tabriz, Kashan, and Kashmir. Finally, through the adaptation of floral patterned ceramics, the floors will celebrate the abstraction, repetition, and stylization of floral patterns symbolic of paradise. Patterns from Anatolia, North Africa, and Damascus will fill the visitor's vision with the unending repetition of the motifs that are a symbol of the infinite nature of God. Finally, the Green Mosque honors the importance of social responsibility in Islam. Muslims are expected to work together to fulfill the general needs of society, in addition to the individual needs of the Muslim community. In his teachings and the Sunnah, the Prophet Muhammad emphasizes that Muslims should be aware not only of their own rights, but also of their responsibilities toward others. In one hadith, he explains this unity and mutual responsibility in the following way. The believers, in their affection, mercy, and compassion for each other, are like a single body. If one limb feels pain, the whole body becomes feverish and restless. In the report, Mosques in the United States of America and Canada, Omar Khalidi mentions that most of the first mosques in the United States played the role of cultural and community centers, with classrooms, bookshops, and even social halls for parties. We believe that a problem facing mosques today is the decline of this community-centered function, wherein mosques function only as places of worship. In the hope of tackling this issue, our mosque will have multiple functions. First, we will have a community education student center open to all, Muslims and non-Muslims. We will have a library, classrooms, and study rooms. We will also offer Arabic classes, tajweed classes for reciting the Quran, and after-school tutoring sessions for both schoolwork and instrumental education. We can utilize the place to organize summer programs and activities during the students' time off school. Second, we will have an Immigration Relations and Integration Office, where we offer ESL classes, citizenship tutoring classes, and legal help to make integration into American society smoother. Both the Immigration Relations and Integration Office and the Education Center will be managed by local volunteers, especially through a mentoring program with Harvard students and students from nearby universities. Third, we will open a cafe that serves as a social space, not only for the Muslim community, but also for the entire Cambridge neighborhood. The cafe will be open to all, functioning during the day as a regular cafe, and hosting some special social, cultural, and sometimes religious events at night, once again open to all. The cafe could organize cultural dance classes, cooking events, and cultural panels that serve the South Asian and East African Muslim populations in the area. The cafe could also be used during religious events such as Ramadan, as a place where the community gathers and celebrates. We hope this way that the whole neighborhood will come together to learn about each other's cultures and thus become more knowledgeable and accepting of diversity. Lastly, we hope that programs at the Green Mosque will be funded so as to engage and support the community. On the front desk of the cafe and in front of the entry to the mosque, we will have a zakat box and a donation for clothes, toys, furniture, and other donations. All profits from the cafe will go directly towards supporting the mosque's programs. This way, both the Muslim community and the greater community will help the mosque to thrive, furthering the experience of the Green Mosque as a community center that brings the neighborhood together. By introducing this mosque to the North Cambridge community, Studio Verditas hopes to offer a place of prayer, worship, contemplation, service, and peace, and a deep sense of connection to the neighborhood and the natural world. The Green Mosque is designed as a site for the bursting forth of new religious life.